With the development of blockchain,
decentralization has undoubtedly become a topic
that cannot be avoided in the development of various industries.
Scalability, decentralization, and security constitute the impossible triangle theory of blockchain.
We will not discuss whether the blockchain theory is correct for the
time being,
but for now, our mainstream public chain is far from touching the impossible
triangle boundary. For now, Bitcoin's DPS is about 7 transactions per second,
while Ethereum's DPS is about 20 transactions per second. Let's take a look at the hardware situation.
At present, taking the P2P network bandwidth of 10 megabits per second as an example,
it can support 3000 to 6000 TPS. As far as storage I/O is concerned, 20K to 40K SSD I/O operations can support.
Taking the current mainstream single-core CPU as an example, 4000 to 8000 signatures can be verified per second.
With such hardware performance, if someone tells you that we can only support a few or dozens of transactions per second, it does not sound reasonable.
So now the shortest performance of the entire
blockchain is consensus algorithm. But why the bottleneck of the blockchain is the consensus algorithm? This is the best blockchain situation in everyone's ideals. But the actual blockchain will not follow the ideal situation. There are often forks on the blockchain.
So,
why is there a fork on the blockchain?
Forking is a very normal phenomenon in the blockchain.
If no one does evil in time, the blockchain will still fork.
For example, if we look at this time,
a block is generated on a certain node at this point in time.
We need to broadcast this block to other nodes. However, the broadcasting process must take some time.
This creates a light cone of time. If other nodes dub a new block in the area outside the light cone, there is no reference relationship between this block and the
previous block. This situation will produce a fork, or an orphan block.
But afterward,
the first generated block has been broadcast to the entire network.
If the nodes are all honest at this time, they will refer to the previous block.
When
they regenerate the block, then it belongs to a relatively safe state.
So,
in the absence of an attacker on the blockchain,
the solitary block rate is approximately equal to the area outside the light cone divided by the expected block interval area. So if you want to reduce the orphan block rate,
it is necessary to reduce the area outside the light cone,
or increase the interval area of the block.
Bitcoin is to increase the interval area of the block.
To achieve the effect of reducing the rate of orphan blocks, Bitcoin's new block generation time is 10 minutes. Each block size is 1M. This is one of the reasons why Bitcoin TPS cannot go up. So can simply reducing the generation time of new blocks solve the problem? In fact, Litecoin did just that.
He reduced the new block generation time to 4 minutes.
TPS reached 10, but the orphan block rate increased. Therefore, simply reducing the generation time
of new blocks will not solve the problem. If you want to clarify the harm caused by orphan blocks,
you must clarify the longest chain rule of the blockchain. Take Bitcoin as an example.
It is the landing of the PAL consensus mechanism. It takes a lot of calculations to mine new blocks of Bitcoin. These massive calculations are just to get proof of work. When a fork occurs,
which chain in the fork is the longest and which is trusted?
And Ethereum's method of processing forks is the ghost algorithm.
The longer the chain, the more trusted. This does not fundamentally solve the problem,
because it is still the longest chain rule.
So under the longest chain rule,
forking will bring the possibility of being attacked and reduce security.
Therefore, how to increase the speed of block production
without losing security has become the main bottleneck. Is there really no better solution?
In this context, a new generation of high-performance public chain, C-Chain, was born. C-Chain's high performance and innovation will bring new
possibilities to the world's future blockchain development.
C-Chain's approach is to further optimize the directed acyclic graph consensus mechanism, support and issue blocks. C-Chain is based on DAG. When a new block is generated according to the block sequence,
the new block is not only connected to
the parent block but also linked to the next new block. The link between the next new block and the new block is called leaf side. The addition of leaf side completes the transformation from
blockchain to blockchain. The blockchain has risen to a new dimension.
In the eyes of C-Chain, all miners will be untrustworthy. Only the blocks under the Genesis block broadcast are
marked with AND block. The end block mark will be transmitted through broadcast. When broadcasting to a new block,
the original block will cancel the end block mark.
when it is found that the leaf side are linked to two end blocks,
There must be a fork at this time.
at this time,
The partial ghost algorithm is used to eliminate the fork error block.
in time,
Eliminate the end block mark and no longer broadcast.
since all miners in C-Chain's eyes are untrustworthy,
We call the wrong block an eyewitness.
and he will record his pointer at the time to facilitate backtracking. This is the C-Chain consensus mechanism.